Hey, what's up? This is Lon, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can use royalty-free background music tracks in your Camtasia projects. It's really one of the easiest and most powerful things you can do to add impact, emotion, and a classic touch of professionalism to your work, like this stupid sample project. Check it out. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Lon with another super exciting video, and today we have a super exciting thing. Anything you want. Well, we can't give you that, but if you're an American citizen, you may be entitled to a heated kidney-shaped pool, a king-size Titanic unsinkable Molly Brown waterbed with polydendum, a foolproof plan and an airtight alibi, a personally autographed picture of Randy Mantu, Bill Gates' new unlisted phone number, Rosemary's Baby, a Winnebago, come on down, we're giving them away, a McCulloch chainsaw, a Mazda, a new Monza, a Las Vegas wedding, a Mexican divorce, a solid gold Kama Sutra coffee pot, or a baby's arm holding an apple. Let's get started. For this project, I'm going to use the Legends of Rock library of royalty-free tracks from award-winning composer Ginny Culp. After purchasing, just click to download, and I recommend creating a special directory for all your music files. Something like Media Directory. And also create folders for different types of media you acquire, like background tracks, sound effects, or whatever. And save the download file. Just unzip the file and it creates its own directories with individual tracks and the bonuses. Very nice. There are clips of varying lengths, including a short 10-second shot called a stinger, which is great for intro and ending effect. Have a listen and check them out. So let's jump into Camtasia Studio and see how to use these things. Here I have a regular Camtasia screen capture with video and audio narration in the clip bin. And dragging it onto the timeline creates a video and audio track. Next, I'll pull in one of my favorite Legends of Rock clips by dragging and dropping it into the clip bin. Or you could do an import media from the task list. This is where creating that directory structure and staying organized really comes in handy. You can preview any clip by double-clicking on it, which brings it into the preview player. One of the most common uses of music tracks is to have an introduction or intro and an ending shot of music called an outro. Let's start by creating an intro clip. We could just drag a track onto the timeline, trim it down a little, and have it fade out real quick, but since we're going for professional here, let's begin by adding some intro elements into the mix. I'm going to create a blank title clip, color black, and then one more with some introductory text, which can be anything you like, with white text. You could also use a callout or custom callout for this, but I'll keep it simple for the moment. I'll drop the text into the timeline, set the duration for 2 seconds, and then the blank title clip in front of it with a duration of 1 second. The reason I want the blank clip is so I can go to the storyboard view and add a nice fade through black transition. Of about 1 second. And another one from the text to the main video clip, something like 2 seconds. And then back to the timeline. The tip here is to put your title clips in first Otherwise, it'll be hard to line things up later. Trust me on this one. Let's take our power opening track and drop it just under the main clip. This creates the second audio track for the project. And clearly we can see that it's way too long and way too loud for just an intro, so we need to modify it a bit. And here's a key step we need to take before we do anything to it. Be sure to lock the main clip by clicking the little padlock. Otherwise, anything we slice, dice, cut, chop, or fade will also affect the main content clip. Failing to lock this layer will cause you all kinds of problems. Trust me one more time on this. Let's zoom in a little. And I want to have this fade out just after the speaking in the main clip begins. So I'll grab the end of the track and just slide it to the left. I usually look for some kind of natural break in the narration to end the music, kind of like here. The next step is to set a fade out of the music so that it gradually stops as the narration comes into play. We do that by clicking and holding while dragging the playhead to select a range of the clip. The left side will be the beginning of the fade, and the end on the right will be the music fully faded to the 0 volume level. Now, if I start the fade right when the speaking starts, the music is still going to be at full volume, and then fade down from there, which will definitely overpower the beginning of the narration. So I want it to start well in front of that, so it's at a low enough volume when the speaking starts that the talking can be heard over the music. A longer fade also sounds more natural and smooth than something sharp and abrupt. So once it's selected, just click the Fade Out button. While it's highlighted, we can preview what that sounds like. If you want more fade, hey, what's up everyone? It's Lon with another If you want more fade, just click the Fade Out button again. And you can always undo if that's not quite right. I also sometimes add a short quick fade up in the beginning volume, especially if it's a powerful clip, just so I don't scare anybody. So let's see how that looks and sounds. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Lon with another super exciting video. That's pretty good. It's also sometimes cool to have a little soft background music under their narration. So let's drop a clip in just after the opening remarks. I'm going to use a track that has a nice steady beat and flow to it. Again, I'll shoot for a natural break in the vocal to start. And today we have a super exciting thing. Anything you... I'll soften the beginning with a quick fade up. But notice that the clip isn't long enough to give us background for all of the speaking. So I'll drop it in again behind the first one, and then one more time after that, just to make sure we have plenty there. Now at the very end, my narration stops and I have a final, somewhat dramatic statement that I want to solo for effect. So I'll drag the last clip and make sure that it stops, maybe even abruptly, just before that. With background music, of course, we'd like it to be much softer than our narration. So to do that, just use the playhead and highlight the background music and click the volume down button, maybe about 5 times, which takes the level down 25% with each click. If I highlight where the two clips meet and play it, Molly Brown waterbed with polybendum, a foolproof plan and an airtight alibi, a personally autographed picture of random. we'll see that there's a somewhat unnatural timing. They don't flow right from one to the next quite right. And this kind of thing actually happens a lot when you're trying to make sure your music is long enough to cover a certain length of time. We can take care of that by zooming in on the timeline so that we can see the actual waveform of the music. As you might expect, the beat is represented by the spikes in the wave. And we can see that there's a certain regularity or rhythm to the whole thing. And if I just highlight and slice the end of one clip to where it approximates the bumps in the waveform, I can get something that seems to flow pretty well from one clip to the next. Size Titanic unsinkable Molly Brown waterbed with, you might have to play around with this a little, so if it doesn't seem like you hit it just right, just undo and try again. It doesn't have to be perfect, and since the volume is so much lower than the narration, you get a pretty good fudge factor here before anyone will notice. Okay, so that's going to add a nice feel to our project. Let's finish up with a big finish. I'll add another title clip. This is a perfect place to have a good call to action for your viewers, or maybe do some branding with a URL, or whatever you like, really. And I'll drop this at the end. I usually like to use the same music track for the ending as I do for the intro. Just kind of makes everything fit nicer. So I'll drop the clip again in at the end. And we'll see that we're also going to have to do a little more trimming to make it fit properly. Now, here's the thing that you'll find with most royalty-free music tracks. They generally have a very specific ending. They're composed that way on purpose, and we can use it to effect. This particular clip ends with kind of a bang. So I'll pull the beginning in so we have just this cool ending part left for our outro. And I'm going to pull a little fancy schmancy here and use that bang ending to our advantage with something called a jump cut. This basically just means that we're going to jump immediately from our main clip to the ending title clip with no transition. Bam! Right at the moment the music stops. So we need to know where that is. And if we just preview a little, we'll see that it's right about here. And then I'll slide the clip so that that stop point in the music is right where the title clip comes in. I want the outro music to start right after my dramatic vocal ending, so we'll pull that in and adjust it, and put a little fade up on it. And let's check it out. A baby's arm holding an apple. Pretty sweet, eh? So there you have it. Hey, adding cool music to your video projects takes just a little bit of practice, but with these tips you'll be cranking out more professional videos in no time. I can just feel it. So grab your own Legends of Rock collection and get busy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.